Welcome back to another episode from Checking From Behind, you beauties. Thank you guys for being here. Preston, Jesse, thank you guys for joining us. It's going to be a really fun episode because the Ottawa Senators right now are playing very, very poorly. And they're 8-9-1. They're tied for, I guess, 5th or 6th in the Metro, whatever, Atlantic. They're 5th in the Atlantic per tiebreakers and everything. But holy shit, is there a lot of drama going on in Ottawa, man.
Travis Green, baby. That guy, I knew from the beginning, and I'm good friends with a few Senators fans. I knew right from the beginning, and I'm just going to flat out say this. Travis Green is going to ruin your franchise. I don't care what anybody says about your team, because I actually like watching the Senators. Tim Stützle is very entertaining. Brady Tkachuk, the way he plays is entertaining. You've got guys like David Perron there. Adam Gaudette's just fun to watch because he's like a PTO king, so it's cool to watch him. They brought in Ullmark. They've got Clevin. They've got Zub. All these guys that I like to watch. But then you go and hire Travis Green. Like, what are you doing? You're not going to do anything with that with that coaching staff. So that's my piece.
I mean, I as a Sabres fan, I feel like I know the Sabres and the Senators have not been competitive at the same time in a long time, but I still have a deep hatred for them back from when I was a little kid and they knocked us out of the playoffs in the conference final. I still remember that line brawl, so I'm always going to be a Sens hater. But I mean, we were having a discussion in our group chat the other day. We were arguing about the Bruins. Even with the Senators not being great, I mean, they're still right in it for in that Eastern Conference. Because
that Atlantic division is atrocious.
Yeah, you got Florida, Toronto, and then everybody else.
Dude, like what's
Tampa,
going on?
Well, the Lightning have been okay.
Tampa should be the 3 seed in the Atlantic. I mean, because Boston's imploding. Ottawa's not great. Buffalo's not great. I don't know what's going on in Detroit. I mean, Montreal's Montreal, but like that.
Derek Lalonde, that's the only thing I can think of in Detroit, man.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the Atlantic division. I mean, yeah, the Senators. I was saying this about the Bruins yesterday too. We'll get more into the Bruins, but like, even though you're 8-9, your season is still completely salvageable. I mean, even they're 2 points out of a wild card spot. Like the Islanders have the last one. They're 7-7 and 5. They have 19 points. The Senators have 17. Like, you could play like shit, and like one bad team is making the playoffs this year in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It was like the Capitals last year.
Mm-hmm.
They had a good finish to their year, but they were not gonna win a game against the Rangers, and it showed, right? So
it's gonna come down to which team is gonna go on that one run that's gonna help propel them barely over that playoff line into the AC, just to get smacked by the Rangers or the Panthers.
I mean, it might be the Capitals if they keep playing this good.
I mean, the Rangers are only
the Capitals are going to be a force to be reckoned with. I just don't know if they're going to be able to ride this momentum.
What everybody said about the Atlantic is really what's happening with the Metro right now. Everybody was saying that, including myself, that the Atlantic was going to be the dogfight up there. There's going to be 4 teams plus the wild card spots with 5, 6, 7, whatever. Even maybe you want to throw the Canadians in there, even though I thought that they weren't a playoff team to begin with. But then the Metro, you have the Capitals, Hurricanes, Devils, Rangers, all within 2 points of each other.
I mean, I think the biggest shock in the Metro is the Capitals being as good as they are. I don't think anyone expected them to be this good. I mean, I thought they were going to be better. I think we all picked them to make the playoffs. So
yeah, we did.
I thought they were going to be wrong, but I didn't think they'd be like 13-4-1 good. I know Ovi's looking like he's in his early 30s again. I know he's hurt. Hopefully he makes a speedy recovery because they're going to miss him.
He's probably not going to come back until first or second week of December at this point with that leg injury.
Don't rush it back. I just hope he can keep the momentum up because I really want him to break that goal streak, goal record. But Washington looks really good. I mean, Carolina's Carolina. They're going to be competitive. I mean, there should be a playoff team, and they just need to get it done in the playoffs. The Rangers have been kind of New Jersey's played like 5 more games than everybody else. So
yeah.
Let's wait for the other teams to catch up. But I mean, the Rangers are still the Rangers, and they've had a couple bad games here and there, but
they're on a heater.
I'm not worried
lately,
about
though.
them.
They're on a heater lately.
4 games in a row. I mean,
they got off
still
to
got
a very
their ass
slow
kicked
start
by the Sabres, but
yeah. I mean,
Zach, I just want to ask you a question there, quick, Zach, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Do you want to just explain why the hell you thought the Bruins were going to win the Atlantic at the beginning of the season?
Oh,
Do you want to?
holy shit! Okay, all right. Now, I don't know why I had the Bruins. Actually, you know what? I do know why, okay? Because I thought Jeremy Swayman was going to be this goaltender that was going to appear in the regular season like how he did in the playoffs. But me thinking that, last season they had almost the same exact roster. You lose Jake DeBrusk, but then I thought Zadorov would be better all-around player, but he leads the league in penalty minutes. You bring in Lindholm as your 1C, but he's better as a 2C than a 1C. We saw it in Vancouver. I said it in our last episode where Lindholm thrived in Vancouver because he was able to take a back seat to Pettersson, and Lindholm is not that first line center that I thought he'd be. So now the Bruins right now are looking like they're fighting for a playoff spot. Might not even make it. I mean, the fucking Islanders are better than them. Like, what are we doing here? Jeremy Swayman has a save percentage under 900. It's early. I'm sorry to everybody that had to see me pick the Bruins first, and I got roasted. And then there was somebody that defended it on TikTok when I posted it, and he got roasted too for me having the Bruins first. I deserve it. I mean,
that is wild having the Bruins first.
It's not even a hot
I can't
take.
believe you had them above
It's not
Florida
even a
and
hot
Toronto.
take. It's just a stupid pick.
I will. I called you out there, so I'm going to call myself out here in the Metro Division. I had the Rangers at 1. I had the Hurricanes at 2. And for some reason, my dumbass put the Flyers at 3. So
That
don't
was
ask
wild.
me
That
what
might
I
be-
was-
that-
don't
that's-
ask me what I was thinking. Don't ask me what I was thinking because I don't know. I'm pretty much right otherwise, except for that.
Preston,
mean,
did you have any sane ones? I mean, any
Insane-
insane ones?
Insane ones. I mean, we were all insane for having
Me
the
and
Predators
Preston
in
had
the
the Jets
playoffs.
at 4th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd be this good.
Shout out to my
other than
fellow
that,
Jets
not really.
fans, by the way.
I mean, yeah,
I believed in you guys. They didn't.
Yeah, I don't think I had really any crazy, especially.
Oh, I had the Blues at 8th. Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, they're not that bad. I mean, Zach's looking like a genius for having the Wild in a playoff spot, but I mean, we all look like idiots for having the Predators up there, especially.
I
Jesse
put the
having them
Predators
at
at
1.
1. What was I
Yeah.
doing?
If I could switch to Predators and Wild right now, I would. I think that look a little bit better. Yeah, the Predators at 1 and Winnipeg, Utah at 5 is kind of nuts.
Oh, okay. Going into the season, though, you had to guess that a team like that was gonna. Even with the Predators, you had to guess that team was gonna be good.
Oh,
That's
nobody
true.
could have
Yeah. predicted that
I
Stamkos,
will-
Marchessault, Shea were gonna be that bad.
I will say I think the Pacific Division right now looks pretty decent. We had the same top 5 teams in the top 5, and
I
then
mean, I think the surprise there is Calgary still. I mean,
yeah,
they're
but I
still
mean,
playing
like,
pretty
first
well.
off, I'm sorry I put Calgary 8th. They're not worse than the Sharks or the Ducks. I was a professional Flames hater.
Yeah, dude, all off season, this dude was like,
Let's
the Flames are
go.
the
As an
worst.
Oilers fan, I respect that.
No, but he was like, they're the worst team in the league. They're awful. They're gonna win like 15 games. And I was like, dude, you're
Okay, I
fucking
did not
crazy.
say 15 games. You're being
It was a very
overdramatic.
low number.
Dude, it was like 20 or something, 22, whatever it was.
That doesn't make it much better. I mean, you look at the Flames roster, and you like. I was banking on a Huberdeau bounce back, and I mean, he's playing well. Is it a bounce back year? Probably not.
I'll never do that again. When
But
he
let's
did
be
Florida.
honest, the Flames probably are going to sit around that 6-7 spot. I mean,
Love
Dustin Wolf's playing out of his mind, by the way. But then you've got like Kuzmenko. There's a couple other names that I think the Flames said they're going to try and move on from.
it.
So
Rasmus Anderson, like, is a guy. that
maybe
comes to
they do
mind.
drop more. I don't know. That
Maybe-
Pacific Division wide open.
You know what?
Yeah.
Going to the Flames, there's a couple guys outside of Kuzmenko. There's maybe Rasmus Anderson. Who's there? Is Backlund their captain? Okay.
I believe so.
Probably
yeah.
not. They're not going to trade him. Blake Coleman might be a guy. I don't know what his contract's looking like right now. But I mean, there's not a ton of trade assets on the team that you can get something back for. But I mean,
they
still,
should get
though,
a nice return for Rasmus Anderson.
they should, and they will. And then go into Dustin Wolf. Dustin Wolf's having himself a good season. Dan Vladar's having a good season too. I mean, your top
I was
guys like
gonna say,
Yeah.
would they move Vladar? You think?
don't they have do they have another goalie coming up in the system?
I mean,
Or
I
is
think they would
Dustin
just
Wolf that
sign.
guy?
I think they would just call up call up a young guy and Brad Wolf and then sign a veteran in the
I
offseason.
think the Flames
I mean,
should just trade Anderson, trade Vladar, trade Coleman, and just say, fuck it, we're going to be bad. And that's not even me saying that as a hater.
I don't like that. No, I don't like
why
that.
Why don't you like that?
I think if you have a chance to make the playoffs, you take it. You never know what could happen if you get in.
Okay, that does change a little bit because if you go into February and you're sitting between like 6 points or fewer, sure, of course you're not going to trade your guys. You might not be buyers, but you also aren't going to sell off and give up on the season
Oh, I
when
mean,
you
if
can
you're
make the
even if you're
playoffs.
a playoff team and you got like a really good offer for the player, I mean, you got to obviously. I think they know like they're not going to win the cup if they make the playoffs. I mean,
Yeah.
crazier things happen, but I mean, like if you get like a really compelling offer for like a guy like Rasmus Anderson, who they don't have to trade this year because he has
No.
another year left on his contract. But a team might value having him having an extra year on that contract, and maybe if they get a first round pick and a really good prospect, a good NHL player, they make that move now. It's like we know we need to start rebuilding and retooling. We're limited to what we can do. I mean, if it's a move that makes sense, I think they do it, but they don't necessarily have to just sell at the deadline.
No, but I mean, looking back at Vladar, he does expire after the season, so I wonder if maybe they look at moving him. And the other thing is too is I think it was Freeman or Pagnotta that said Devin Cooley has interest, but the Flames are completely dead set against moving him, which makes me think Vladar is touchable, and they would be comfortable running a Wolf Cooley tandem near the end of the season, and then maybe signing a vet next season if they are atrocious between the pipes. I don't know. Like at least they have some options. Like I mean. They've been doing what they did really well last season, getting all those assets they did, but they have a long way to go before they're even close to competitive again.
Oh yeah, I mean they have 3 first-round picks this year, so they don't necessarily need to make a bunch of trades. I mean they have 2 second-round picks, they have 2 first rounds next year, so like they're in good shape.
They could though.
The one thing about Calgary that the reason I'm trying to pump the brakes a little bit is because sure they're sitting right now third in the Pacific Division, which great for them. I'm happy for them. But then behind them, behind them you have Edmonton, Vancouver, and Colorado. Like,
I mean, Colorado's a sleeping giant. They're getting healthy. They're going to be back.
They'll be back. Vancouver, it seems, granted they lost 2 in a row, but they're seemingly starting to slowly put together everything.
I mean,
but
JT
Miller is out
step
indefinite.
away. Yeah.
So, and then Edmonton. I mean, you have Connor McDavid, Draisaitl. I like they're gonna be okay. Like they'll probably get into that top 3.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I gotta. I'm just double checking this right now. Okay, if the Knights lose tonight, and the Oilers win tomorrow, and the Knights lose tomorrow, the Oilers are in first in the division.
I mean,
or at least tied for
that
first.
Pacific Division is going to be a dog fight, man.
If LA beats the Kings tonight, which they probably
will. If LA beats
then...
the Kings.
If LA beats the Kings?
LA beats the Sabres. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, LA plays tonight. I'm stupid. Okay, so a lot of things need to happen, but that's how close that Pacific Division is. I mean, the Sharks are 8 points back of first place, which is
like,
crazy.
What are we doing? Like,
the Sharks have been playing a bit better lately.
Listen, they're only 4 games under 500.
Yeah, that division's actually nasty. Hold on a second.
The Ducks are at 500. That's crazy.
That is kind of ridiculous. The Kraken are okay. The Canucks are
Maybe
decent.
they watched our video last week of me like completely tearing apart the Ducks.
The Ducks have the nicest jerseys in the league. Don't even.
I don't like those orange ones. They need to go back to
the
purple.
orange ones I think they're top 3. I don't think they're the best, but I think they're top 3.
I like the roads better than the homes.
I think
if you're gonna have that Mighty Ducks logo on it, you need to have a purple jersey.
What are we doing? I think the purples are good, but the orange pops out. Like, they're good. They're great. Some of the best in the league.
You know, you can have your own opinion.
Yes, opinions are a thing for a reason, Preston. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, your opinion's wrong, but I'm not gonna argue with you. It's like I'm not gonna change your mind. So, if they brought back the purple jerseys, though, I'd buy a purple jersey.
I might be getting one of these ones, man. These ones are so nice. I don't know. I love them. I think they're fantastic.
Speaking of jerseys, did you guys see the Winter Classic jerseys?
They're ass.
Yep.
The Blues ones I don't like. I like the Hawks ones a lot.
Okay, I'm not gonna be able to show this, but have you looked at like the entirety of the Hawks like get up, like the gloves, the pants, and everything that they're wearing?
No. I think I just saw the jersey.
Okay. They're wearing like those vintage brown Sherwood gloves, and I think that's atrocious.
I kind of fuck with the brown gloves.
Dude, I don't like that so hard.
Now, the jerseys themselves are insane. I love them.
Yeah.
I think my favorite Winter Classic jersey they wore are the black ones. Those ones are sick.
The St. Louis ones are crazy. I might be getting a St. Louis jersey. Those are insane.
I don't like them. I don't know. Maybe
You know, it looks like the freaking the selects team for fucking Spittin' Chicklets. That's what those jerseys look like.
Where did you pull that from?
What's the
what
name? Is
the
it?
fuck?
You guys never like watched the Chicklets Cup or anything?
Does it get held in Buffalo every year, or was it just a 1 year?
I'm trying to find a picture of the jersey.
Hold up. Let me see if I can find Chicklets Cup jerseys. The selects, you said?
Yeah, I forgot the name of it.
Oh, okay. I found it. I found it. Okay.
Send me them. Send it to me. I need to see this. Now I'm curious.
Preston, are you able to? Actually, no. I'll send it.
What's the full name of the team? I forgot.
I just looked up Chicklets Cup jersey selects. Let's see.
Oh, Minton's goal was actually nice as hell too.
Oops.
Nothing like highlight reel, but like just great placement. He knew where to be. Nice pass from Robertson, I believe that is.
I love that.
Well, it's Nylander. Right in the slot and just tucks. Yep.
The big
All right.
deal selects.
All right. I'm sending it to you right now.
Well, let me see this.
They look the Blues jerseys look just like that. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh my God, those
Yeah.
are yep. Spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to if you throw this up on YouTube or in a clip, you're gonna have to like show the jerseys right here and just so people
Yeah.
know what the hell we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Most people probably have never seen these jerseys before.
I don't know.
Side by side comparison.
Spittin' Chicklets is pretty popular.
Well, yeah, but like,
I have a feeling most people that are going to watch this are probably watch Spittin' Chicklets a lot. It's the most popular hockey podcast, so
that's that's fair. I'm not talking about people don't know what the Spittin' Chicklets is. I'm talking about like they've never seen the jerseys before.
yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean, you guys hadn't, so
I mean, you
know,
never know.
the Blues jerseys look just like those, though.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to actual hockey talk. And the Bruins yesterday fired Jim Montgomery. Joe Sacco takes over as their interim head coach. Boston, what the fuck are you doing? Dude, what are we doing? This is the third Jack Adams Award winner that you have fired under Cam Neely and Sweeney. And I get shakeup needed to happen. I believe Montgomery wasn't under contract past Cassini. Sweeney and Neely are, which Jim Montgomery right now has been the scapegoat of Boston. And I think the roster was poorly constructed, and I think last season was a great job by Jim Montgomery coaching that team up, and in part Jeremy Swayman saving that team, and Pastrnak playing out of his mind too. And I think that wasn't sustainable.
I'm gonna pick apart the Bruins here for a second because I don't know if people know who Jay Fresh is, but he posts the analytics. He's like, if you want to look at analytical cards, if you want to get into it, or if you know what it is, you obviously know
like
who
the
he
goat
is.
of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So I was looking at that the other day, and he just started calling out the Bruins. And if you look at it, they're even strength offense, they're even strength defense, their special teams. Nothing is going right for that team. Now, if you look back when Swayman and Ullmark were their tandem, they bailed out that Bruins team. Now, was it smart to fire that coach? Absolutely not. Jim Montgomery is a phenomenal coach. It's been proven. You look at his record, the guy was fantastic, right? You even see some of the players are upset that they let their coach down. So to me, hearing that was like, okay, maybe there's actually a bigger issue here. So where do they go from there? Do they do they start moving out some big names? Do they just accept the fact that they failed when they signed Lindholm and Zadorov to massive contracts when they're not worth that much?
Mm-hmm.
Or do they get rid of Neely? Do they get rid of the GM? Do they get rid of everything? I don't know where they go from here. Like, it's if they don't make the playoffs, there's going to be a huge issue in Boston.
I mean, they still. I mean, I know like how bad their stats are, especially like that goal differential is horrific. Negative 21 already this season. I mean, I think the blame's more so on the GM than the coach. I mean, if you look at this roster and how it's constructed, it's not a very good roster. I think they kind of got carried last year by elite goaltending from Ullmark and Swayman. You know, and it makes the defenseman like we were all saying, oh, they have one of the best defensive groups in the league, and they don't look like that this year because they're not getting elite goaltending every game. And that makes a big difference. And I think them making it to the second round of the playoffs put way more expectations on this team, and it made the GMs think they were better. And I agree with you. Elias Lindholm was probably a mistake. Zadorov was a huge mistake.
Mm-hmm. I will say Sidorov's percentile in defense isn't as bad, but like everything else, though, Zadorov it doesn't look like a good fit. Honestly, him or Lindholm, they just don't look like a good fit in Boston. I mean, Lindholm, granted, started on the team in points, but right now he's at 9 points in 20 games, and he's on pace for 50 points. That's supposed to be your first line center. It's not gonna cut it. And then
They never replaced Bergeron and Krejci. They never did.
And then, like, you're getting a little bit of regression from Pastrnak and Martian. Martian is getting older, but Pastrnak just has nobody to play with.
What is he supposed to do? Like, his top centers are Lindholm and freaking Charlie Coyle. I know Coyle did a pretty decent job stepping up last year, but he's not a 1C. I don't even know if he's a 2C anymore.
There's one move that went under the radar for me that Boston, it surprised me. And, maybe he had a slow start, but why and I don't know, I might fuck up his last name, but why did Matt Poitras go down to the minors?
Yeah.
Someone explain that to me, because from what I'd seen and from what I know about him, he is one of their better players, better, well-rounded players, and he's young, and they've, I get maybe sending him down so he gets more ice time. I don't know.
Did they send him down recently?
A couple weeks ago. He's played 3 games in Providence.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's part of coaching staff just trying to shake up the roster, and maybe they don't want the young kid getting exposed to not so great hockey up in the big leagues and just let him play in the AHL so he can be that number 1 guy.
I guess. I mean, I was looking at him last year, and he put up, I think it was 15 and 33, which is solid for a guy that just gets into the league. And then this year he had 3 or 4 and 15, right? So maybe slow start, and they're like, hey, go to the minors, get some more confidence, come back up, which is a very common theme in the NHL nowadays. But he is still one of your more well-rounded players. If you want to shake up the lines, give him a shot. And like I said, I'm not as in tune with the Bruins as I should be, or as Bruins fans, obviously, but I was even reading through social media comments. They were as baffled as I was. I'm like, why is he going down? You read through comments, nobody understood it. Usually there's somebody that's like, oh yeah, he's been terrible. Not one. Nobody agreed with that move. So I don't know.
It's completely a management issue in Boston. Go ahead, Preston.
I guess one silver lining is they have 5 forwards that are UFAs next year, so they can shake up the forward.
But how much money does that actually free up for them?
I mean, Marchand, I can't see him getting a raise in his next contract. He's getting 6.1 right now.
And he'll stay.
Yeah, he'll take a team-friendly deal, I think. I mean, Boston tends to have players take. I mean, Pastrnak kind of broke that mold, but I'm glad he got what he deserved. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah, you're right. They don't have a lot of money to spend. They're paying McAvoy 9.5. He's been horrible. Hampus Lindholm. I think Hampus Lindholm has not been a big problem for the Bruins. I really like Hampus Lindholm.
Yeah, he's just hurt right now, which kind of screws their depth up.
I mean, Zadorov, $5 million. Swayman, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, he's been bad, especially with that
contract. It's still a decent contract. No, it's not phenomenal looking right now, but it's a tradable contract.
I think he can bounce back, especially if you kind of revamp the defensive group in front of him.
If the Bruins are like, hey, it didn't work, we got to move him, it's a movable contract. Yes, they might have to retain a little bit, but a team will take the risk on that guy for sure.
The one thing that sucks about the Swayman thing is it didn't have to drag out that long, and I think that's part of the reason why he's been so bad, is because he had no training camp with the team. Sure, he was in other rinks with his own staff, whatever, maybe on training staff, but it's different being with the team, being in tune with everything that's going on. We saw it with Vasilevsky last year. Granted, he was coming back from an injury, so a different situation, but he wasn't playing hockey to start the season. All he was doing was rehabbing, training, whatever, getting back to speed. Jeremy Swayman's kind of in that same boat, minus the injury. And I want to go back to Charlie McAvoy for you, Preston, because on the stat sheet, he might not be playing the best, but right now his goals above replacement is 6.3, and then his expected goals above replacement is at 12.1. The only thing that isn't good is his power play offense, which for some reason, as an offensive guy, his power play offense isn't good. He's in the negatives right now.
That's a problem when your team can't score, and that's why I'm calling him out, because he's supposed to be that offensive defenseman.
Yeah, he's one of the reasons why they have the 32nd ranked power play in the entire league at like 11% right now.
Because I mean, Swayman's numbers aren't great, but when your team can't score, it's gonna be hard to win no matter what. And this forward core is horrible, like, god awful.
Yeah, and there needs to be a shakeup of some sort of this roster. Now, I don't think they're gonna fucking do anything, to be honest with you. Like, there's nothing much they can really do to make a.
I honestly really think at this point they needed. I think they should trade. I really need to trade for Trevor Zegras or get a young center that's kind of needs a change of scenery. It can't hurt.
Yeah, it can't hurt for Zegras, and like I'm with you that they should try to trade for Zegras. I've seen the argument that he doesn't fit the Boston mold and like this tough and grit,
Who gives
whatever.
a shit?
But like you need a guy like Zegras.
You need a player who can score, and he can score.
You need a guy like Zegras to go in, and you can buy low on this dude right now.
And he's a center. They need a number one center. He can still be a number one center.
He's making 5.7, or you can even run a platoon of the number one center with Zegras and Lindholm. You can flip-flop them if you really fucking wanted to.
I don't know, but they need to make some kind of move. They need to get some young talent in there. I mean, the way they haven't been drafting the greatest. I mean, mind you, they've been at the end of every round for the most part the last few years. But they need to do something to shake this team up. And I don't know if it's trading a veteran to shock the team or, I mean, I think the GM needs to go. I doubt he'll get fired. You got your scapegoat in Jim Montgomery. Jim Montgomery will get another job next year if he wants another job.
Oh,
next
he'll
year. Immediately have success.
He'll get hired before July 1st. He'll get hired before that.
Yeah. I have a feeling like after the season when teams are firing their coaches, he'll get fired. He'll get hired by a team like a week or two after.
So who do the Bruins hire? Do they keep Joe Sacco depending on how the things go, or do they look at one of the best Oilers coaches of all time, and Jay Woodcroft?
I don't know. I mean, obviously they're going to stick with Sacco for the rest of the year, but
yeah,
I mean, I don't really know the hot coaching prospects. I'll be honest with you. I don't really pay attention to that.
Oh, Julian.
Yeah, bring him. The Sabres brought back Lindy Ruff. Bring back Paul Julian.
So I mean, there's not a lot right now. Is Gerard Gallant? Is he on a team right now?
I'll tell you
Gerard
in 2
Gallant?
seconds.
I don't believe so. I don't think.
I want to say yes, but
I think
think
he's on a team
somewhere?
somewhere. No,
he's not.
Yeah, I think
Could bring him
after
in.
The Rangers fired him. Like he's kind of taking a break.
could bring him in if he's interested. I don't know. I mean, also there are going to be some head coaches that get fired at the end of the season or mid-season that the Bruins could look at too.
Do you want to retread? Like I mean, a lot of good coaches really don't get fired anymore. I mean, let me look at the standings and just see like. I mean, I know Nashville's bad, but I can't see them firing their coach.
No, especially after the season they just got.
It'd be stupid to fire. And like, Trotz is a great GM, and Brunette's a fantastic coach. I don't know what they're gonna do there. They can't really move any of those contracts. Well, a team might take Stamkos, but I can't see
a full movement clause.
Stamkos. A team will take Stamkos, right? But
I mean,
I don't know what they're gonna do, man. Like, what can they move? Like, Marchessault ain't going anywhere.
Brady
Shea
isn't going anywhere.
I mean,
unless the Oilers take on that full $7 million.
Could Gustav? I mean, there's not really much that you can really move. I mean, I think Nyquist is one of the only guys, and everybody else, like, you're not trading Forsberg, Yossi. I mean, if you're that out of it, maybe Ryan O'Reilly, but he's your best centerman.
No, they're not trading O'Reilly. I mean, I think if someone's going to go, it's going to probably be Nyquist.
On paper, they actually have like a scary good team, and it's like they should not be this bad. Now, I wonder if they'd actually just be buyers at the deadline regardless and just retool it and just like, if they're losing still, they retool at the deadline, they move out money, then they bring in guys to just completely revamp the team in the offseason, continue doing the same thing, and then hope for a better season next year.
I mean, I don't know if they have much of a choice because it's going to be hard to move on from a lot of these
unless
contracts.
They start winning.
It sucks for the Predators because Saros is playing really good hockey. Now, granted, their backup isn't. But, like, they're also not scoring goals. Like, they're losing. They've lost 6-2, lost 3-2, lost 3-0, lost 3-2, lost 2-0, 3-2. Like, they're losing 3-2 games. Like, but then when they're winning, it's 5 goals, 4 goals, 5. Like, if they score more than 3 goals, they're winning the game with how good Saros is. But the problem is that they can't put up more than 2 to 3 goals a game. And if they can just fix the scoring issue because you brought in Stamkos to score, Marchessault. You brought Brady Shea to help move the puck in the back end with Yossi. And then you also have, last season, Nyquist had 65 points, and right now he's sitting at 9 in 18 games. Like, I know he's not supposed to be that guy that's going to go out and put the puck in the back of the net, but I get where Trosh was going with this, where, like, he saw what happened last season. He wanted to go, quote-unquote, all in and be huge and get all these big fish and sign them the big contracts in the offseason, but it's not working right now.
I mean, that when you make major moves like this, it does take a little while, like usually for like, especially with this top six, because Nyquist was playing first line minutes last year with O'Reilly and Forsberg.
Yeah.
But now you got Stamkos and Marchessault, and they're going to play in the top six because, you're paying them to play in the top six. And, when you have that kind of a big shakeup, Shea coming into, like, it does take some time to adjust. I don't think it should take this long. I have a feeling they'll find their game eventually, but at that point, it might be too late.
But, like, they'll be fine, though. Like, the only issue I've had that I've brought up with just you, Preston, before is you can't rely on going on this huge run. Now,
No.
you can't rely on going on that 20-point point streak run, whatever it was. But, like, you can rely on stringing together wins. Like, maybe you win 4 in a row, and then you drop one, and then win 3 in a row, drop one. Like, that's a 7-2 span. Like, they could go on one of those. Like, that's more manageable. But the only problem is that with how crowded the West is right now, wild card race and Central Division, you kind of have to start picking up now. Like,
they're already in a pretty deep hole. So,
like, you're at 15 points right now. You're second to last place in the Western Conference.
I think second to last place in the league.
Only
team worse than Chicago.
Yep. And then, so, like, in your own division, third place in the Central Division, Dallas at 11-6 for 22 points. And then second in the wild card spot is going to be Vancouver at 21 points. Like, you have to start stringing together wins now because before you know it, it's going to be January 1st, middle of January. You're going to be 12 points back, and it's going to be tough for you to really get together some wins here.
Like I said in our video last week, I think the Thanksgiving break, American Thanksgiving, is usually a good way for me at least to gauge what a team is.
Mm-hmm.
If they're in a solid playoff spot around Thanksgiving, they usually tend to stay there. Barring some crazy streak. But I think, that's a good like quarter and a half into the season. I think that's a good time to kind of gauge the teams. And obviously the next one's the All-Star break, where I think you really separate like the contenders from the pretenders.
Yeah.
But just for an early measuring stick, it's usually Thanksgiving. And like, I'm not talking about like fringe wild card teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to bounce up, but I'm talking about like teams at the top of the division.
Certified contenders. Like, no, I get
that.
that.
That's when they kind of start to separate themselves from the rest of the team. In the All-Star games, clearly when you see like, okay, this team's way ahead of this team.
And then you might have like teams fighting for certain spots in the top of the division too. Like, but like, you generally know who's going to make the playoffs, be the top dogs. And then
typically an All-Star break. Yeah, it's like when there's no All-Star game this year, right?
No, it's just
it's for that Four Nations Cup. So
which
the
I'm
Four
excited
Nations
for.
Cup break this year.
Yeah,
so.
that's gonna be sick. I'm excited for that. And then another team, real quick, the Detroit Red Wings, kind of group in there with the Ottawa Senators as well. I know that we've been kind of Detroit Red Wings haters on this, at least me personally, because I'm not a fan of the Yzerplan. It has not been great there.
For the Yzerplan to work, they need to move on from him. Because look what happened to Tampa. He leaves, and then they win 2 cups.
Coincidence? I think not. Like, the Red Wings right now, they can't score. They can't stop the puck. They can't play defense. They can't generate any opportunities. Like,
that defensive core is awful.
Like, how do you go? Okay, I don't mean to be so negative about the Red Wings, but like, how do you go into this season as Yzerman? You're like, you know what? That blue line's okay. Like, I get
Ben Girard's playing top pair minutes. They still got Justin Holl. Like, that blue line is not good.
I will say, I think Moritz Seider's having a bounce back season. Hold on, let me double check that real quick.
Yeah, he has 10 points in 18 games. Like, not bad.
Let me see. Yeah, he's having a bounce back season. He's actually been playing better defensively than offensively, which is kind of a surprise, to be honest with you, because last season he was horrid defensively. Now, granted, doesn't help that he had Ben Sherratt as his
I mean, yeah, but look at that blue line behind him: Ben Sherrod, Justin Hall, Jeff Petrie, Eric Gustafson, Simon Edvinson. Like, he's young, so I'll give
But
him a
but but
little
but
bit of a
but
break.
but the top six though is so good, and that's what everybody said. And now look,
I
they
mean,
can't
that
score.
first line is really fucking good.
I
Larkin,
love
DeBrincat, and Lucas Raymond.
I love
that line's good.
But outside of that though, it's not good.
Yeah, I mean, Tarasenko. I mean, let me look at his stats. Yeah, 7.17 games.
Yep.
Patty Kane, as far as I know, hasn't really been doing much.
Simon Edvinson has been good for them. I like him.
Yeah, they need to continue to develop because they need good young defensemen because these vets they have suck.
He's gonna, dude. Edvinson's gonna be huge for them. I mean, Edvinson's right now is having a good rookie season. I don't think he's gonna be up there in the top 5 in Calder voting, but I think he's been a good piece for the Red Wings. Like outside of those top 2, I mean, Sider and Edvinson, like it's not great.
They're still paying Justin Abdelkader. That's hilarious.
I don't want to cut you guys off, but I'm sorry I've been a little out of it for the last 5 minutes. I just got a text message. I'm gonna break some news on this podcast for you.
Go for it.
Penguins prospect Tanner Howe, I think, just got traded from the Pats, and I've been trying to figure out where he's going. But it looks like the Pats are trading him somewhere, so that's interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
So it's a minor league deal. Like, it's not Pittsburgh moving the players. It's
his WHL
Yeah.
team moving on.
When you said Tanner Howe was getting traded, I thought the Penguins were trading him for a second.
No, it's not the Penguins, it's the Pats, and I'm just like, he's the Pats captain. I don't know why they'd move him, but
It's probably
Yeah,
going to be an
I don't know.
absolute haul for him, though.
it's huge.
Dude, those CHL trades be like one player for about 10 draft picks.
I mean, how much does Shane Wright go for when he got traded last year?
Oh, he went for like 13 assets, bro.
Yeah.
Let me actually.
and then
recall
when
that,
Matthew,
low-key.
who was it Matthew Savoy that got traded?
Yeah, Savoy got traded. Yeah, he got traded as
He
well.
got traded
and Connor Geeky.
yeah. Those
'cause
trades
they're
are
on the-
wild. I love
the
seeing
Winnipeg
those
Ice,
trades
yeah.
where it's
Yeah.
like one NHL prospect and it's like 10 to 15 assets.
So-
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
The
it's a little.
Spitfires acquired Shane Wright and a conditional 14th in exchange for Ethan Miedema, Gavin McCarthy, a second, a third, a fourth, a sixth, another fourth, and a conditional 5th, and a conditional 6th.
Crazy. I love.
But honestly, I don't think that's too bad for getting Shane Wright.
No, it's really not at that level. But... Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
I mean,
That's
in minor
interesting.
league hockey, though, they gotta be a little. I feel like if you can have a chance to get like NHL prospects that probably should be in the
You
NHL
jump on
but
it.
aren't. Yeah, you jump on it. I mean,
Yeah,
you're trading
you
away
jump
picks
on
that
it
for
for
the
sure.
15, 16-year-old kids.
Yeah, I don't
like,
fucking
Yeah.
care.
You absolutely make the move.
Oh,
Yeah.
Preston, you hit the nail on the head.
oh yeah, I should be a GM then.
You know, fuck it. Listen, CHL
Don't take over the Sabres, bro.
Fuck it. Why not?
First thing I'm doing is I'm trading everybody.
You know what?
Fuck
If
it.
you,
We're starting,
you know what?
we're
Fuck
starting
it.
over. We're an
Buy,
expansion team.
buy out Jack. First thing you got to do is buy out Jack Quinn.
I'm
First
not-
thing.
he's on a rookie contract. Why'd I buy him out? I just
Fucking
wouldn't
buy
tender
him
him.
Is he still that bad?
Yes.
He's been a little bit
Oh
better
my
lately,
God.
but I mean, no, that'd be stupid to buy him out. I would just let him play out this year and then not tender him as an RFA if I really wanted to get rid of him. But they're not going to do that.
This mother.
I guarantee you
Holy
that if the
shit.
Sabres like lost their team and then became an expansion team next year, they'd probably be better next year.
This motherfucker, Jack Quinn, is in the 3rd percentile in offense. He has a goals above replacement of -7 and an expected goals above replacement of negative. What?
I mean, he's been dragging down the guys he's been
That's
playing with. Like
you.
Dylan Cousins has looked a little bit better lately, but
He has looked better.
They got him away from Quinn.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
was gonna say, did they shock the line since we last talked, or what?
I mean, they kind of have to. They're dealing with some injuries. Tage missed the last couple games. Tuck's not playing tonight. So.
wait, I thought he was playing tonight.
Tage is playing tonight.
No, I thought Talk.
I mean, I just saw.
I'll look right now.
I thought Tuck was not available tonight.
I will look right now.
I see Tage is out tonight. I saw a post that said Tuck is in.
I think you got them mixed. Okay, no, I got it mixed up. Okay,
no,
Tuck is playing and Tage is. I got it mixed up.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
it's all good.
Tuck will play tonight. Page is out. Yeah.
I mean, Tage is like driving that offense right now, so the team really suffers when he's out.
I just hope this team can string together some wins. Every time this team strings together wins, they fall back into that hole and lose a couple straight.
I mean, that's who they are, though.
I hate it. I
Talk
mean,
about Sabres legend Ryan McLeod, though. Dude's a stud.
I appreciate Ryan McLeod, by the way, Jesse. We really do.
I'm
He's
honest,
honestly-
I'll be completely honest with you. I am happy he's doing well. Like, yes, there's a bitter part of me that wishes he would have actually played well in an Oilers jersey during the playoffs, but I mean, good for him. Like, you ask many Oilers fans, they're happy to see him succeeding. I mean, he has to live in Buffalo of all places and play for the Sabres.
I mean, I can't imagine living in Buffalo
But,
so much different than
like,
living in
Edmonton
Edmonton.
and Buffalo are, like, the
in
same
all.
thing.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, he has to go from playing in a sold out arena to playing in front of all 417.
Dude, it
Sabres
is
fans that exist,
9,000 on a good night, okay?
They sell out the home opener.
I'm
They
just
sell out the
bugging you.
home opener. And they also sell
No,
out the
but-
games when we play Toronto.
If the Sabres made the playoffs, I feel like they'd be pretty electric. But Sabres and playoffs just don't belong in the same sentence right now. Now, however, the Sabres also deal with a lot of injuries. I'm not trying to make excuses for them, but you have a team with Tage Thompson, who is otherworldly. You have Alex Tuck, who phenomenal pickup, by the way. You got Darlene Power. You've got all these guys that should help you make the playoffs, and you just don't. But that's what happens when you trade the 43rd overall pick for Beck Mallenstein.
That's the only bad move of Kevin Adams last season. Am I forgetting a move?
I mean, I
Think.
mean,
So
I
we
don't-
bought out Jeff Skinner, W.
Yep.
Ryan McLeod we acquired. Jason Zucker, I like that. Dude, what am I forgetting?
I think you're thinking.
Well, first off, agree to disagree. The Oilers won the hell out of the Savoy trade.
I mean, I think if you're the,
I think it
no,
helped
I
both
think
teams.
if you're the Oilers, you still do that. I mean, you don't know what Savoy's going to be still. Like, he's playing in the AHL, right?
But also with that trade, I think both
Savoy's
teams got the best of
playing
both
fantastic.
worlds because I don't think Ryan McLeod have a fair chance in Edmonton, or was he kind of buried in the lineup?
He was our 3C. He played a couple games on the second line. Majority was the 3C because that was like the perfect spot for him on our
Mhm.
team. He also had Fogel and Henrique come in, and then it was a line of, for a little bit it was Fogel, Henrique, McLeod. So there was really just no spot for him anymore. But
Oh, no,
I mean,
the Oilers,
still,
if
like,
I'm the
last
Oilers, I still
season,
do
he
that
was-
trade 10 times out of 10 because you're
100% you
potential
do.
a top 6 top line player in Savoy. So yeah, you take that risk. I mean, if Savoy doesn't end up panning out, it is what it is. But I'd still take that risk if I'm
But
the
I mean,
Oilers.
I do that trade if I'm both teams
guys
10 times out of
didn't-
10. What?
you guys didn't re-sign Zemgus Girgensons? Are you kidding me?
He didn't want to come back.
He wanted to live in
Oh
Tampa.
my goodness. That's
Yeah.
the all-star that you guys needed. That's why you guys aren't winning. I'm sorry.
He is an all-star.
2014, baby.
He won the All-Star vote in 2014. all of Latvia voted for him like 50 times. You know he has a song.
Wait, he has a song?
You never heard the
I
Zemgus
think I've heard
Girgensons
this.
song?
I think I've heard this through Instagram. Yeah, I think I have
It's
heard
like,
this.
the Zemgus Girgensons. Blah, 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 blah. It's Latvian. It's
That's crazy.
I love
the
that.
Sabres have
Bringing
this
in Albe
thing.
Kubel wasn't. Albe Kubel's not a bad one. Zucker's not a bad one. You just overpaid like the son of a bitch for him. Lafferty's a good addition. Brendan Bureau was a good one too. Reimer was okay, but you know.
It is what it is with him.
I mean, I'm just glad that we have Reimer back and also Levi can play in the AHL. And actually
Feels
play.
nice.
Yep. I'm trying to figure out. Cutting Jack Rathbone is a mistake. That guy's ridiculously underrated.
Was he in Rochester?
Yeah, I think so. You guys signed him in the offseason. I don't get what's going. Like, he was so good as a prospect, and now it's just he can't make it anywhere in the NHL. I think he was in Pittsburgh. He was in Vancouver. Edmonton wanted him for a while when he was a suitcase, and now he's just in
yeah.
Rochester.
Yep.
4 points in 14 games. I lied. He might not be good.
That's rough.
I don't know, my biggest issue with the Sabres is they still really don't play team defense, and they forget how to fucking play team hockey.
One night they look like world beaters, and the next night it's like they forget how to play hockey. It's so weird.
I mean, they beat the Rangers like 6-1, and then they're getting blown out by the Blue Jackets.
5-1.
Why are you not playing Lafferty at center? Why is Lafferty a top 6 forward?
Oh, you're on daily face-off, like projected
I am.
lines. I mean, I don't fucking know what Lindy Ruff's
think
doing with the lines right now. I mean, I don't, as far as I know, he hasn't played in the top 6 at all. But
he's been playing on the fourth
Paterka,
line.
McLeod, Tuck, Benson, Cousins, Lafferty, Zucker, Kulik, Quinn, Malenstein, Krebs, Abe, Kubel. Like that fourth line's good. Third line's aight. Second line's wow, and the first line's a good second line.
I think I know why, because Jack Quinn fucking sucks. That's why.
He's terrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. I don't know that for sure, but based on what every Sabres fan, all 14 of them, have told me, is he's terrible.
yeah, he's like Victor Olofsson, but worse.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, he has a
Olsen
great.
cooking. And
Yeah, I mean, he's got his boy Eichel back dishing passes to him, but Jack Quinn, he's a shooter who can't get the puck in a shooting lane.
And every time that the puck is in his feet, he just falls down. It's
It is
rough.
funny though. He like calls for the puck no matter
Dude,
where he is on the ice. It's
oh,
actually
Olsen's
terrible.
hurt. That's why.
It's funny because the one thing, it was a couple weeks ago where Chris sent it in our group chat about the Jack Quinn, like somebody photoshopped like the bets and everything about Jack Quinn falling over and like fanning on the puck and stuff like that. I thought that was hilarious. If I could, I know I saved it and I sent it to my manager. If I can find that, I'll throw it up on screen for the viewers to see. But I honestly found that very funny.
I don't know how we ended up talking about the Sabres. I'm sick of this team. So,
You
got
know what?
anything else to
I
talk
told
about?
myself that I would never talk good about this team, and I'm not right now because the Sabres are fucking ass.
Then no, they're worse than ass. They're mid.
Yeah, I would rather be ass than mid. At least you could get assets. And the Sabres are going to finish like 85 points and miss the playoffs by like 6 points. It's going to be like, whoop, look at this again. Going into next season, 14 seasons, playoff drought.
I mean, I hope they don't trade Bowen Byram, though. I really like him.
Got it. I really want to keep him so bad. So bad. He's been good. He's been really good.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, we have 3 number 1 defensemen on the team. So
OP, Dahlin, and Byram.
Power's been actually pretty solid.
Power's been really good for us. I will say it does suck because Samuelsson, he has missed 50% of the games that
I
ever
still don't know
since
why
being
Kevin
signed.
Adams gave him that fucking contract. Like,
Dude, what are we
immediately.
doing, KA? I don't know. I feel like he signed everybody. He locked everybody up prematurely except like Tage, pretty much. NOP.
No, when he signed Tage, everyone was saying he was making a mistake.
Really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, because he signed him after his first decent year. So yeah, he had 68 points in 78 games, and then he gave him the long-term contract, and everyone was calling him a fucking idiot. He was like, he had 1 good year, and they gave him a 7-year deal, and then he had 94 points the next year, and everyone shut up.
Yeah, did the I don't know. I think that contract's gonna look like a steal. It already
I have no
does.
problem with the Tage contract. And Dylan Cousins, I mean, I think he could bounce back, but
I'm not worried about him. I think he just got off to a slow start. He'll be all right. I mean, the last 5 games he's looked fine. So personally,
I mean, I really like Zach Benson. I think has made a difference since he's came back from his injury.
Zach Benson's a freaking rat, man, and I love it.
Yeah, and Yoki Haru's got to go.
Yeah. Bryson's look good.
I'm done with Yoki.
Yeah. Has he even played a game in like the past month?
He's been benched for like the last 2 weeks.
Good on Lindy.
Even with Samuelsson hurt, he's been playing Dennis Gilbert over him.
I mean, I don't blame him. Yoki Haru's been brutal.
I mean, Dennis Gilbert ain't much better, but
yeah, but at least Dennis Gilbert hits people.
He's a Buffalo boy. That's why we brought him back.
Bring him in for the vibes. I love it. Bring him in for the vibes.
I mean, he's drafted like junior Sabres. Kevin Adams is drafted like junior Sabres prospects just because they play for the junior Sabres.
Bro should have drafted Quentin Musty.
I honestly thought they were going to pick him.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been sick, though.
Ooh. Matthew Nye just got lit up.
Is he okay?
Oh. Yeah, he got up on his own power, I think.
Ooh.
Zach Whitecloud's getting reviewed.
Oh, we haven't even talked about Austin Matthews yet.
Ooh.
Are we getting a 5
That's
for it?
That's an elbow to the head. Ooh.
They call it 5.
They're reviewing it right now.
Oh, Nyes didn't know where he was. I'll send you the link right now. Hold on. Yeah, they're reviewing it right now. I heard it on my TV upstairs, but
Matthew Nye's out here seeing stars.
Yeah, that's Jesus.
Bro, that is straight fucking jaw.
Yeah,
Holy
that is
shit.
that's a pretty big one.
I mean,
That's right to the
White
head.
Cloud didn't leave his feet or anything. He didn't
Yeah,
really.
he did. Look at the end of the hit.
Did-
He's off his foot.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
his right
yeah.
foot's in the air completely, and his left foot comes off a little bit.
And then his
Hold on.
his right arm extends outwards towards Nyes' head. It's gonna end it for today's episode. If you guys enjoy all of our content, subscribe, notification bell. Go check out Jesse, the Mug NHL. All of his links are gonna be down in the description below. See you guys in our next episode.